We're rolling. We are rolling.
We're on.
Sister of mine. Sister of mine.
Hi, Sissy.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? I've been missing you.
Yeah, it's been going
Although
good.
we did have a little bit of time together, just not with these guys.
Yeah.
Not all of us together. We had a little family time.
Just saw each other for Thanksgiving.
Because the holidays. Yeah,
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. We did it on Saturday, though, not Thursday.
That's right.
What did you guys do on Thursday? You were with John's family, right?
Yes. Yep. So we went down to John's sister's house, and the family came over there, and her partner cooked, and he's an excellent cook. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
nice.
lovely, and because he knows so much about cooking, I feel very safe there,
Oh,
which is
okay.
nice.
Right,
so-
because you have some
The
dietary
glutens.
restrictions. You can't have the gluten.
That's right.
I can have all the gluten.
Yeah.
All of it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And the dairy and the sugar and the MSG and all the things. I'll take them.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you had a nice time?
Yeah, had a
Good,
great time. And then
good.
we went, we stayed down in southern Maine, and we did the Sandy Hill Farm
Oh yeah, that's an Elliot.
Winter Wonders.
That
So great.
I really want to go.
It's, I think, controversial opinion, better than the gardens. I think.
Better than the big down in Booth Bay, you're saying?
Yes.
And I haven't been to that either.
Yeah, so the Booth Bay one is really spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk the whole area, and it's little things here and there, things off in the distance, what have you. And this was more like immersive, like
Oh.
everything is enormous. You can walk through. They have a bunch of tunnels. There was that one picture that I posted of the two of us in that teepee that was all
Yes,
Christmas balls and stuff.
yeah.
So there was a bunch of different things like that you can go and see. And it's, very inexpensive. It's like
Yeah.
$24 or
Oh, I
something.
love that.
They have parking right there.
Nothing.
And the
the
trail's
parking
just
free?
a little more than a mile. Yep, parking's
Oh, that's
free.
great.
Yep.
How about for like with Jason?
It'd
Could
be
walk
fine.
it?
Yeah. It's just, there's some that, the elevation changes a bit, but it doesn't change suddenly. And there were folks
Yep.
with wheelchairs and all of that.
Nice.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they don't tell you much about what the conditions would be if it were icy or snow
you
or
just
whatever.
kind of at your own risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Grippies on your shoes.
yeah, but it was beautiful.
Now
I loved
think-
it. I was like
And
the whole time.
Yeah. And now that you've said that it was worth like every second in the cold and it's worth a drive, like I totally want to go. And now it's making me think Wednesday night, I want to take Cam to the Stillwater Trail. I've never been there either,
Yeah, I haven't done that one either.
but it looks like it's pretty spectacular. People really love it.
Nice.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'll do Wednesday night with Cammy Cam because there'll be snow. And
That's right,
It'll be
yeah.
all magical. Daisy Doodle.
It'll be fancy.
Hi, babe.
Daisy's looking a little wrecked. She needs her hair did.
When does she go for grooming?
I haven't set up her next appointment. I really need to reach out.
We were going to do that advent calendar. I'm going to grab it.
Oh, okay. I forgot already.
What holiday movies have you been watching?
Oh, I don't know. I turned one on the other day, and it was just one of those, Hallmark, Mr. Christmas something rather, and I just went to sleep. So I haven't really sat down and watched anything yet. I did take a bunch of time off from school this last weekend, but I still my time's spoken for, so I don't have as much energy. And do you think that that's for you?
She totally does.
It's not. It's for me.
I've been watching stuff kind of in the background on TV, like doing other things, but turning on Christmas movies in the background.
Nice.
Yeah. And I've watched Trading Places already. So tell me about this advent calendar. It's art?
It is. Sorry for that echo there. It is from
Come here, Daisy
the
Doo.
TikToks.
Come here. Did you just sass me? Come on. Come on.
I don't know how to pull it out without pulling the whole thing out. So it's from the TikToks,
Pretty.
and it is like art supplies and tiny little art projects that you can do. Yeah, we need like 4 arms here. Okay.
Oh. It's wicked pretty.
Yeah. Oh,
Daisy's
I think
like,
you're
"I'm
supposed
helping."
to.
Does that go in
Apparently,
there?
you're supposed to
You
like
do it yourself?
set it into something, I guess.
Oh, they're numbered here. Yeah, we plug them in.
Yeah.
The little boxes.
Okay.
Question mark.
I'm not sure that this is going to be super entertaining for
Might
folks.
not be. So 21 is here.
Here's one.
How does it?
We'll
Like
out
this? Like this?
because I'm gonna open that today.
Okay, 21. Except the number doesn't stick out. You can't see it anymore. I must have it turned the wrong way. 3. Yeah, it does it so it's not. Oh, I get it. It's going to look like a city when they're all in. That's so cute.
This one's
I kind of
8.
love it. So, if you were deliberately going to turn on a Christmas movie,
Yeah.
what would your go-to be tonight?
Elf.
Oh, right
probably.
on.
I love Elf.
What number is this? I can't see. 17.
Yep.
Elf is fantastic. What do you got there? 9.
9.
Daisy is like
24.
She's being really sassy right now.
Yeah. She really thinks these are all for her.
Yeah, she's annoyed. That's hysterical. She's like
15.
punching
What
it.
is 15 in French?
I have 15.
Do you remember?
Cinquante. Quince is
Quince?
Spanish, right?
I don't know.
It is.
I don't remember.
Quince. 14.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. Right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
So 5.
7, 8.
5 something.
7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12.
We're totally
13,
in
14.
Spanish. Are we in Spanish now?
I don't
we
know.
switch over?
I don't know.
We need to go back to school. Back to school.
What else do I like? I like Home Alone, but maybe not as
That
much as
I
some
did
other
turn Home Alone
people.
on the other day. Because that makes me think of us. Because that was one of the only videos that we had, and we watched it over and over and over again.
There were so many like that.
This is a cute advent calendar. It is a lot of work, though.
Yeah, well, and I didn't even realize that. I would have set it up already.
Because it would have been cute sitting on
I've
the
just been eyeing it.
day 19.
Like, I can't wait
This
until
is
day
cool that
number
it's a
1.
TikTok. Do you have like a person that you like to shop from on TikTok, or is it just rando?
Well, I have girlfriends who have
Oh, you should tell me who,
some
so I
shop
can, if I
things.
do any shopping, that if I do
Yeah,
it through them.
I will. I'll send them
11.
their
My
profiles.
girl.
And if I want something that I don't see that they don't have, then I just reach out to them and I'm like, hey, can you
Oh, nice.
can you add this to your shop?
Yeah. Because my friend Liz Cronin, like, she has a pretty good little shop. So, like, if I want something, I'll go look for it in her shop. These are fun.
Almost done.
4. That's 1. You already have 1.
Yeah.
Where's my?
There's a spot here.
That's 20. Oh, it's but not punched out. I bet that's it. Yep. It was fun to be with Jared the other day.
It was.
So have you watched Alaskan Bush People?
Yeah.
Because
yes, I have.
makes me think of Jared a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit like Jared, I guess.
Well, that guy Bam Bam looks like him. The glasses and the beard.
No, he doesn't look like
Come
him.
on.
But he behaves like him a little bit. Because he's so irritated with the nonsense around him.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's like, you
Jared is like that.
You
He's like, I have
guys,
to do it myself. I always have to do it myself.
I cannot with you. Yeah, so
I know. Jason
he's a bit
and I
like him that way, but he doesn't look like him.
I think he does a bit.
Oh, that's really cute.
It is really cute.
Okay.
That is fun.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really cute. I like the way it's set up. Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah, so the Alaskan, what's it called?
Bush
Alaskan
People.
Bush People.
And apparently it's been on for 14 seasons.
A long time.
14 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cute.
So it comes with a little QR code that says days 1 through 3.
Oh,
Scan for
pretty.
your watercoloring guide.
And then so it probably tells you how to paint these.
Yeah, and it has a bunch of
Oh, a little swatch.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Reading
like
tracker.
bookmarks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Oh, those are cool.
Yeah.
And they're monthly.
That's awesome.
And they're little buildings and like the whole city theme with the little buildings. That is so cool.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Goes with my little mini
Good job, Grabby.
travel art set.
Grabby is the brand.
That's great.
Good
and
job,
the little drawer
Grabby.
thing fits in the bottom, and you can put your supplies in there.
Ooh.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, they figured it all
Come
out.
on. That's great. Well,
Maybe.
200.
We
Stand
should
by.
have thought of this before.
We don't do that. We don't fact check here. We don't plan ahead. We're just hanging out. There we go. Good job, TikTok shop. And then it
Nice.
gives that stability too.
Nice.
I love it.
I love it.
Lee, I love it. Is this a John thing?
Yeah.
Good job, John.
I picked
Shout
it
out to John.
I picked it out, but
Okay.
He's-
You have excellent taste.
he makes all my dreams come true.
Yeah.
So.
He does. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, well, I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Perfect. I love it.
Nice. So Alaskan bush people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got you said you were mad at the dad.
I'm mad.
I get mad at the dad too.
I'm mad.
Do you want to talk about it?
So I had it on in the background, so I'm not even sure like what season it happened in, but I went like kind of suddenly from very early on to much later. It seemed to be clear that it was definitely much later. And they went from, being out in the middle of Alaska, and I think that it picked up where, according to the show, like the government had burned their house down or something.
No, this is the first season.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then they went to some other part of Alaska that they didn't really know very well,
Right.
that was super remote, and they were bartering for a bunch of stuff and trying to
But,
build
like,
their
not
shelter.
But like bartering
then-
on promise also, right? Like not actually
They were
handing.
brokering.
Yes.
They
That's
were
what they were doing. It
broker
was not
barter.
really barter.
Well, maybe. I don't know if
Yes,
that's
but
how it
usually
works.
there's like exchange, not a promise of an exchange.
Well, but then they
a couple times the kids
they
went
made
and
it
worked
happen.
or whatever, but
Yeah, but then they made it happen. So it was like, okay, so what do you need in order to let go of that thing?
Yeah.
And then they're like, what I need is this. And they're like, okay, I don't have that, but I'll go see if I can find it. And
Yeah.
then they, so it was like it's like the Knights of Knee in the bush.
you sort of see over time too. It is like that. You sort of see over time too that some of the jobs they don't like, or at least the show makes it look like they don't go back and follow up. Like they just left it hanging. Like they bartered
maybe.
for $5,000 worth of lumber for this price that they had paid cash for, and then they promised to do this other thing. But then they ended up building that house and leaving it behind because they got shot at.
Right. I know.
They never
and
paid
then
for
I was
that
like,
barter.
did they actually get shot at?
Right.
Like I was like, what actually happened? I'm
But,
not really
like,
sure. Because there was no information.
How do you know it's your land? What if somebody else thinks it's their land?
Mm-hmm.
And then also the people, a lot of the people living out in the bush are, like we talked about, right, are running away from the law. They talk about it in the show too.
Yeah.
Right. So the people that are your neighbors want to be alone.
Yeah.
And then here comes this ragtag family with cameras.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but I mean, I don't know. Like, you're just gonna go shoot at somebody in the dark?
I know.
That
Are they really shooting at you, or are they
I
just
don't-
shooting?
I feel like they were probably shooting, and you could hear it. And then this is my impression.
Makes a great storyline.
My impression of the dad is that he just wants to have a reason to give up on stuff, and then make it
because then
seem
you're always
like
working.
he's starting new
Yeah.
and working through it.
Right. We've really
And
been
that
put
he
through a
just
lot.
Gives up on stuff, and that he wants that reason. So I think that was his reason.
Yes.
Was like, oh,
Create
well,
a
now,
crisis
we don't have to
justify-
help anybody else. We can just leave, And so I think that that's part of it.
I
I think
agree.
that that's what happens. So anyhow, so I had seen that. Then I was doing some reading and stuff. I took a nap. I got back up, but still on.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this season where they were in the city. and they were miserable in the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah. Catch a can. They were stuck because they
Tiny
had
little place.
something like they sunk a boat or something. I can't, or they ended up having to go in. Yeah.
I don't even know how they got to Catch
Yeah.
Can, but where I
think that's the one where
was
the
they
boat
were getting ready to
sank
leave.
as they got there.
So there was two. They ended up finding two boats,
Right.
in order to leave. Right.
Yes.
So they're leaving and they're driving what, like, I don't know, what did they say, like 800 miles
Some
up the
crazy
coast or
distance.
something?
Yeah.
It was like an enormous amount of time that they were going to be on the water, right? And they got two boats, and not once did the dad take the boats on a friggin' test run, and he put his whole family in it and everything that they own, and the kids are so excited. They're not even kids anymore, they're adults, but
they're in their 20s and 30s except that one.
They're pretty much kids.
The youngest one is like 15, but the rest of them are 20 and older.
Yeah, the oldest is like 30 something.
32.
Yeah,
in that episode, in that season. Yeah, 32 years old.
Yeah. So, all of that, like when one of them started breaking down in the middle of the open water, I was just livid.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was like, how dare you? Like,
Awful.
how dare you put your entire family in danger because you got this half-brained idea that, maybe this could work out, and maybe it could, but shouldn't you do the work to fix it before you leave and make sure it works before you leave? Like, no, because he just wants to leave the place where he is.
Well, we
instead
got
of dealing with wherever
we got to
he
get
is.
out of this. None of us can stand this town.
It's just
we can't stand this city living. We can't take it. We've got to get out of here and get back to the bush. We've got to get out of here. So Jason and I started watching, like we were watching it on Netflix, and they only have those like 2 seasons theirs. We flipped over to Hulu where they have all of it.
Oh.
And we're watching a part, and he made a crack about our childhood. And I was like, oh, I never saw it, because they're in the cabin now and they've got no walls and no doors.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
this is why I hate open floor plans.
And then I was like, oh, Dad.
Well, and that's what Billy Brown reminds me of.
Yes, and like I'm thinking about like Dad putting the outhouse dumping ground uphill from the house, upstream, uphill, and like thinking about how he brought those farm animals home, and just nothing.
Because it was the next thing to escape the last thing.
Yes.
That's why. It was the next thing to escape the last thing.
If he could have run away, he would
You dig a new hole to jump out of the last hole.
On his third marriage.
Over and over and over and over. Yes. And it's so frustrating for me to see. But also, the reason that I don't want to go camping ever.
Yeah. No, I do. Like I have found in the last like 10 to 20 years of my life that I can enjoy time in the woods, and I do enjoy time in the woods, but not in a labor way. You know what I mean? I don't want to work to enjoy time in the woods. I want to be comfortable. I want to have something to sit on. I don't really want to be dealing with bugs to a degree that I can't enjoy the time. You know what I mean? So I do want to be outside, and I do want to be in the woods. I find more than I used to. Because I find pleasure in it.
Yeah, I mean, I like going hiking.
Yeah, you're a good hiker.
I don't want to prop up a tent in the middle of nowhere. No. I don't want to, dig a spot for my bathroom.
No.
I don't want to sleep on the ground.
I don't even want to use an outhouse
ever again. I want a
flushing toilet
ever again.
No, ever, never, ever, ever.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts on the whole thing, and it's just like, it's so selfish. Right?
It's so Billy.
It's so selfish. Well, and
the parents,
too.
Right? The parents, so selfish. Yeah. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt in thinking about like intellectual capacity.
Sure.
But I see a guy choosing to be selfish, and then like indoctrinating the kids into it so that they feel like they can't leave.
Well, I mean, that also, and I'm not sure that that's I don't think that they realize. I think that that was just an unintended
It's
consequence.
spontaneous.
It
Yeah,
happened.
it's
And I
spontaneous.
think that that's, just kind of how it is. And, when you're so reliant on everyone around
Oof.
you, that's
And
that's
yeah,
the
and
funny
that's
thing,
the
right?
irony,
That
right?
they're
That's the
so reliant on
irony.
each other.
But the whole
And
mode is
also,
like self-reliance.
if they are bush people
Yeah.
who have so much to do day in and day out,
Yes.
they're building shelters, they're making fires, they're hunting, they're doing all these things. Why is Billy out of shape?
Well, have you noticed he's not really helping? I don't know if you noticed,
I'm
but
saying.
he's not really helping. Yeah, he's going to have chronic venous insufficiency, diabetes, but he
Right?
doesn't go to the doctor.
Right.
So he doesn't know. So like he gets sick and falls into a coma. And nobody could tell us why. And so it could happen anytime again. And every time he gets sick, I worry because he had a coma and no one could tell us why.
Yeah. I did feel some sympathy for him when they told his story about his whole family dying, and that was why he wanted to go off the grid.
It makes
and I was
sense.
like, that's devastatingly sad.
And
that's
this is his
intensely
coping.
sad.
Yeah.
Is that he was so
how can I make sure
upset
this never happens
and afraid
again?
of the world
How can I
that he
protect
was
my
like,
family?
I will never ever be
totally
a part of
get
society
that.
again. That was so sad.
Yeah, like I can feel that in my bones and my cells, like that common connection of like that's a human that I can relate to. Like I totally can have the 100% heart just broke thinking about that. And as a little kid, like of course this makes sense that a plan like this would come to shape out of that.
Yeah, but to have a whole family and to, I just think about like
so our dad,
all the medical stuff is what I think about, being able to malnutrition,
right?
And
our dad Norm
vision
said to me when I had my kid and I didn't want to get a cell phone, right? I was in my early 20s and I was hesitant. I was defensive. I pushed back against having a cell phone in my 20s. I didn't want you to reach me. I didn't want people to just be able to find me. I wasn't interested in that at all. But then I had a kid. And then my kid and I started spending time away from each other. And our dad, Norm, said to me, yes, I hear you. However, this day and age, don't you think it's a touch irresponsible not to have one? And like that was the advice that I heard when I was watching that. I thought, this is irresponsible to deny your family access to healthcare, to telephones,
right,
to social education, so that they have an opportunity to get married and have kids if they want to.
Yeah, and so that they really get to choose which life they want, because
they don't get a
he
choice
talks about
this
that
way.
a few times about how, well, they're not kids anymore and they really get to decide now. Well, no, they don't. If they don't know or understand or relate to
Did you see
any
where the
other
one
life.
guy built himself a saran wrap house?
I did.
He doesn't have a choice. That's not a choice.
Yeah.
Like that. He's so sweet, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really liked the, learning about each of them and seeing how, how they relate to people.
They're so ingenuitive. Yeah. They are hard workers. And those kids, like at least on the show, it seems like they never complain.
Yeah.
And they're not scared of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we can do this. We can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And like,
I love that.
Well, I think we should go, catch some crabs. Like,
let's do it.
Let's go.
Or they're like, we need to build a cabin in 4 hours. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, got it.
Yeah.
Like I just watched one where he's like, can you build me a dryer? Like we need a clothes dryer. He's like, yeah, sure. I'll think of something. Right. Yeah. And he does. Like,
yeah. And that's really awesome.
Yeah.
That's
super cool.
Super cool. Yeah. I don't know. I feel a lot of if I wasn't a parent already, I might feel differently about that.
That's a good point.
Seeing that is just, I'm like,
I cringe and I'm just like, you selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a lot because of our own childhood, right?
And I really hadn't put that together.
Our dad chose not to have a phone at all.
Yeah.
Our dad chose not to have running water in his house with
those were
kids.
Choices.
Yeah.
Those were choices. Or like when we were really little, the driveway wasn't a driveway, right? Like you couldn't get the car to the door. It was like a 3-minute walk from where you would park to walk up the hill.
It was always like that.
Well, now, I mean, over time, it did turn into a drivable space.
I think you always parked at the bottom.
Oh,
it was because it was
pretty. I know.
It was very steep.
It ended up being cut into 2 levels over time. Actually, now the house is a 3-story house down there.
Really?
And it has a really nice, like, 2 levels. It looks like it was meant to be that way.
Nice.
It's like a house.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So our original main floor is now like the basement walkout, like a daylight walkout basement style.
Okay.
Is how it looks. Like it's a 3-story house. Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I could find my way back there if I tried.
No kidding. I could go with my eyes closed. I could probably walk in the dark.
Like I can like get a sense of it as I like turn down the road.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make the correct turns after the first one.
And I was a driver at a point where I was going back and down there to visit you guys or pick you up and drop you off. And so I still have it in me. And it's one of my favorite drives in the fall is to go on the Upper Dedham Road to Bald Mountain Road. And you come out around the back of Phillips Lake and you can see the back of the Lucerne Inn. And it's just in this one little spot up this hill and going up and around. And there's this great big house on this side. And if you just get up past that house and you just kind of look out this way, you see this amazing view. Like,
that's pretty.
I love stuff like that.
I mean, I do think that there were a lot of good points about us sacrificing so much. Like we really learned what it was like to have nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
and how to make something out of nothing.
And I think, I don't know, I was never, you tell me, but I don't think that I was ever a truly miserable child. Like, I feel like I had a lot of moments of happy and wonder and fantasy and imagination.
I think that's true.
You know,
yeah,
I feel like I still had all of that. And there was some awful stuff, but still, I didn't, you know, I didn't come away from
we were happy kids, I think,
like
in generally speaking.
Person.
Yeah, I think we were pretty happy kids. We had each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I really liked like going out into the woods and pretending to build a shelter that we would never find again.
Yeah.
And then Dad would be like, "You took all my nails
out
into
we
the
totally
wild
did
and let them rust."
We totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do too. I love thinking of memories of when we would go out behind the house into this quarry, like a gravel pit, and it would fill up with water, and there was this one big rock in the middle, and we pretend that was a boat.
Yeah.
And we would pretend that we were traveling. Like those are fantastic memories.
Yeah, and we would walk down to the brook.
Yeah.
And we would go fishing.
Yeah.
And we would try to do like rock hopping. Like we would take our socks and shoes off and put them on the side and do all of that. And I got to do that with the kids in Blue Hill when they were little. And it was just such a, you know, memory of all of that. But I mean, there was a lot of good things like
so many
that
good
that
things.
we did.
I know how to bait a hook. Like I know how to go fishing. I know how to go camping. I know how to build a fire. I know how to chop wood. I know how to fire a rifle.
Know how to build a fire. And one time my friend Christina and I went to this place that we rented for like my birthday weekend or something. And I think it was in like Bridgeton, but it was in the middle of the woods and in the mountains. And it was this old like ski lodge, and like someone had started a fire without opening the flue or whatever. Yeah. And like, I mean, you could see the smoke all the way up, you know, all the way up the wall. They never cleaned the place. So we walked in and we were like, oh. This is what we have. Okay. Well, we tried to start a fire and it was like wet that weekend. We tried to go out to start a fire and we tried and tried and tried. We tried a lot and we were not successful.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
We didn't have everything we needed either, but
yeah. I mean,
but we couldn't just go grab the sticks that I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And thought, this is it. This is what we'll do it.
I mean, I had the good luck of I had more years in the good stuff down there than you did, because I was there before She Who Must Not Be Named was there.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had an extended, like the Vokhausen farm down there, Paul and Karen Vokhausen. I mean, that was a full working farm. and I got to be a part of maple syrup making,
Mm-hmm.
butchering animals, learned how to ride a pony, learned how to ride a horse. And then Procyon and Leon had Clydesdales. Like I learned how to run away from geese and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How to go in and get eggs like out of the chicken coop without causing a bunch of damage or harm or whatever, scaring chickens away. And lots of like really good memories of stuff like that I feel so and I had Breeze's family.
Yeah.
I had the Gamblins.
Yeah, they were great.
What a great
Are, you know,
this they're
really
they
wonderful
just
humans.
really gave me access to the world in a different way
Mm-hmm.
that I would not. And Allison Kenny, right, also gave us access
We were
to
just
the world.
talking about them at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Right. How it really their connections to our family gave us access to the world in a different way. And Aunt Kathy, right, did that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those people in my life were so formative in those early years, is there was so much trauma and garbage and violence and yuckiness. But that's not really usually how we tell our story. If we tell our story that and we talk about that, there's a specific
and it
purpose
really
to
does
it.
feel like that is like this and that the rest is much bigger. It really does feel that way.
It feels like it
but I
matters
do
more.
feel like our father was selfish and made terrible decisions.
He
and
was so
completely
selfish.
Irresponsible.
He
and
didn't
I
even know how to spell Jared's name. He would forget to pick us up from school.
I do have a lot of
I love
anger
you
for him.
Rest in peace, Dad. I love you so much. You were so selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just who he was. And as I learn about accepting people in my life that I love, that I have a hard time tolerating, like I'll share with you about when I struggle to accept Jason or have tolerance for Jason. Like I'll have all this patience and tolerance for other people in my life, but not my own husband. And so as I like work harder to build my spontaneous ability to have more tolerance and patience for him, or desire to have it, I see those parallels with like not accepting my dad and who his limitations were. And I have these little glimpses of like, why can't you just accept me for who I am? And then I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so nowadays, as I see those where I limit myself in my relationship development in those ways, helps me to reflect on that with Dad and kind of loosen up on some of that. He was just a silly human. Silly, selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish
human. Mm-hmm.
He was a lot of fun.
I have a low tolerance for people who willingly run from responsibility.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
And the the way that has shaken out in my own life.
For sure.
So yeah, I have a problem with that.
I was just thinking about that guy that you dated that we found out was like involved with stealing excavators and where he would go every morning. Remember that?
Yep, I remember.
That's what that made me think of.
Yeah. So the moral of the story that I like to tell other people is that if you ever are talking to another person and the words "he's going to jail" come out of your mouth, or the words "I just got a phone call from the sheriff" come out of your mouth, it's
in relation
time
to
step
that,
back and reflect with someone who is different than your normal circle.
And maybe you just bounce those ideas back and forth. You just share what's been happening the last couple of weeks and just look for some feedback.
Yeah. And I think that the questions need to be, 1, is this normal? 2, is this helpful? Both of those questions you should be asking yourself all along the way.
Am I safe?
As you grow
Yeah.
and learn.
Right.
Yeah. Am I safe? Like, and when you think about, is this helpful? Meaning like, is this going to help me to reach my goal, to stay safe, to
build my future,
right?
Save money. Is this
stay alive?
Stay alive is a good one.
Stay alive.
Right? It can just be that simple.
To meet my basic needs. Will this help me to meet my basic needs? Yeah.
Just got a call from the sheriff. Like I also have had those moments. Knock on the door. But we're looking for so and so.
Yeah.
We understand you're dating him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on in.
I will tell you though,
Come on in.
That happened for 2 relationships in my life, right? So, the husband numero uno, right?
Yes.
Um,
Mm.
and that at that time I was woefully unprepared for things like that. I did not
Yes.
understand the world. I was 18 or
Yes.
something when I met him,
17 and
and
3/4,
didn't
like
really understand
anything.
that people
When he was such a
were
predator.
right, and that people were like manipulative and all,
Yeah.
like I didn't
Yes.
know.
Right.
And so I wholeheartedly believed everything.
So much.
Really, really did.
And his dad was such a predator too. It was just
Yeah.
a whole, just a
Yeah.
whole.
So it was a very different thing. Well, when that showed up
Yeah.
again in my life
Yeah.
in that other way, what I did differently was I went to someone else and said, "This is what is happening.
Yeah.
What do I do?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, let's make a plan. We're going to keep you safe. We're going to figure this out. We're going to make sure that the kids are always taken care of. We're going to get this figured
Right.
out." And from there, what we ended up doing was, one, helping the police to do what they needed, to get whatever they needed. And also, I bought my first house and moved out.
Yeah.
And did my own thing.
Yeah.
And,
you found that there was this piece that you could change.
Yeah.
To be a little more self-reliant, a little less dependent or interdependent.
Yeah. Well, and I realized that what I was most afraid of in that moment were two things. One, the safety of my children.
Yeah.
And I had that figured out with this friend of mine.
Yeah.
Because she loved them as much as I did.
Mm.
So we got that figured out. And then two was I was afraid of starting over. I had gained so much ground. And, had been a single mom for so long. And I had, worked my butt off. I had a great job. I had my own car. I had my own place. I had all these things. The kids were doing well.
And had just come through these huge setbacks, these huge challenges.
And I was so worried about having to be like set back again. And how would I do this? And I was going to have to go back home to the parents' house.
Yeah.
And how would I deal with that and keep consistency in the kids' lives, because that was critical when they were those ages, And so being able to make the plan and being able to take that step instead of feeling like I was taking a step backwards was huge. That was enormous. Yeah.
Yeah. And your ability to, your resilience in like the way that you approached it and just committed to the success of it.
Yeah.
And that this is the best choice and I'm fully in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that was certainly something, but I'll tell you what, now that was like 2008, I think. And now, I can pick out a person who may have that stuff happening.
It's much easier to see the indicators
across the room. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot easier to see.
I get the sense, I get the feeling, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like there's the information.
That's the thing that people would say to us when we were little, and they'd say, "Someday you'll understand." Right?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
That's the being able to see around corners. Yeah.
Yeah, because you already walked around a couple of corners, so you're pretty sure what's over there.
Yeah. How did we get onto this? I guess the bush people and dad. I guess.
And then the other thing too that we had thought we would want to talk about today was understanding our parents in a specific way.
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah,
right. This kind of ties into that. So we were talking on text just a little bit. I'm going to set this up, but I want you to develop it because this was your thinking.
Sure.
So what I read your text and understood that the topic is like understanding your parents as a parent versus understanding them as a human creature, just an individual in the world. And I sort of translate that to like, in a functional, understanding them functionally or understanding them socially. I don't know if those words fit in there, but we talked about like, we know our mom as a mom. We don't really know her as Trish or Pat.
Yeah.
Right. Like that person.
Well, and I was thinking about, like I think that my own children would not be surprised to see me or hear me interact with a group of my friends.
Right.
I think that they would think it was predictable. They would think that the jokes I tell are stupid.
I was just going to say they would know your jokes.
Or they would think I was funny. Either way.
Right.
Not sure. It could land.
Either way,
Hard
they
to know.
probably could predict the jokes you were going to tell and when.
Yeah. And they would not feel like it was odd and uncomfortable. They
Right.
might feel like it's cringy because
Yeah.
they know me,
Right.
right?
Eye roll.
And so I was just thinking about that, and then I was like, gosh, that was so different in other generations, wasn't it? Like,
For
that's one of the
sure.
big differences
Well, the children
between
would be
people
shooed
raising
out of the
kids
room.
now
Yeah.
and, whatever life was
Interesting.
like before, because you really only knew your parents in that one-dimensional way. And then I was just trying to think, like, I didn't do that on
Yeah,
purpose.
like through
Like, I
these
didn't
hours of
create
the
that.
day, the type who they were during those hours of the day is all you got to have with them. And you were never well, I'm thinking about our own
Yeah.
experience. So in that house in the woods, like our mom and dad would have friends over,
Mm-hmm.
or we would go to their friends' houses, like whoever was hosting, Peggy and Alan Strong or whoever it was. And they would come and play cards or play dice and probably smoke a little weed and drink a couple of beers. I know there were definitely cigarettes and beers around. And dad was a weed guy.
There were lots of cigarettes around, that's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I think about those nights, and like in our house, there were no walls or doors anywhere. So like we were shooed away upstairs.
Yeah.
But we were all just kind of like on our bedrolls, like listening,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just trying to be engaged with the grown-ups as much as we could. But in other people's houses, like when we moved to Bangor and I had a friend on Lincoln Street, what's up, Annie? We got shushed up into another room, or like they put her bedroom in the basement and we would hang out in the basement. Or there was a room off the kitchen that was like a 3-season room and they would stuff us in there. We had MTV and horror movies. And like that was like what we did. We didn't spend any time with them socially. But Annie's family had huge family gatherings, big family reunions, and they loved each other and they were like together. And we didn't know our aunts and uncles. We didn't know, we didn't have those connections. And we didn't have, when we were living in Ellsworth, we didn't have after school friends. Like that was not.
No, it was, and even, later when it was, dad and the stepmom there, it was still the same. Like I did get to play soccer because
Oh yeah, I remember
Paul
that.
Locke, my teacher,
Yeah.
was coaching.
Yeah.
And he was also a neighbor.
Yeah.
And so he invited me.
He was the Branch Lake
because
neighbor,
he was willing to take me.
Yeah.
Right. And so probably the rest of the story there is that she probably didn't even have a car.
Yeah.
And wasn't able
Right.
to do any of those things.
Yes.
But the way it was communicated to us
also
was,
there's a cost.
how dare you? How dare you believe that you would be worthy of me leaving the house to go pick you up and take you somewhere and do these things? That was the message that we received. So we didn't ask,
Yes. Like when I think about the times that you struggled as a kid, those were the years that you were unhappy. Those were the years that you had nightmares. Those were the years that you were stressed out. Were those few years that you were living with dad and she who must not be named, and that was your family culture for a while, and you were only with us part-time. Those were the years that you were stressed out.
Oh, 100%. She was a terrible person. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a relationship with her now, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, when I think about, and this is kind of getting off the course here, but when I consciously decided that I would raise my children and how I would raise my children and interact with them and interact with their friends, there were a few things that were always going to be the same. And one was that this is a safe place, meaning you will not bully each other in my house. Right. You won't. Yeah. You will not call each other names in front of me. No, I will not allow it. We are not downgrading each other in a ha-ha funny way. That's not happening.
None of that.
We are not doing any of those things. And if you can't get along, you can't get along. But you're not going to do that.
No, you don't get to call each other stupid. You don't get to use that F word that's not the word that you're thinking of, the word that dad used to throw around all the time. Like he would call us that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We're not doing that. And if somebody touches your body and you say stop, like tickling, you're going to stop.
Yeah.
This is not going to go on in my house.
Yeah, so there was that. And then there was also like, I'm never going to intentionally like say words to make a child feel terrible.
I hope I don't.
Like you always look so stupid when you tilt your head to the
Yeah.
side. Why don't you straighten
Yeah.
your head?
And if you smile that big, your face looks really fat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like what in the world?
I'm not gonna.
What in the
I'm
world?
gonna try to not do that. But I have said things over the year. I know I have, and you can't take it back.
Yeah.
Once it's out, it's out. You can't unsay it.
Well, I just mean that was the world that she lived in.
Yeah.
That was every day.
Yeah. Oh, she is a unhappy person.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was every
That's the
day.
only way to make
So,
sense of it for me.
I can't even imagine doing that to 11-year-olds. Like, I mean, 4-year-olds. Like, I just cannot. I cannot. So, anyway, that's, whatever. That is what it is. But what I was thinking about was much less,
Yes.
polarizing like that. What I was just thinking about was just generationally, you learned about your parents through the responsibility of parenting.
Yes.
Instead of through just general interactions, because like it's not as though I raised my kids to just be friends with my kids, but I raised them to enjoy each other
and their time with you too.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
enjoy what we were doing
Yeah.
together. And then as they got older, they developed different interests and they didn't necessarily want to spend all our time together and whatever, and that's fine. That's just a natural process. But I did feel like we all we all had these times together where we laughed until we could not breathe.
Definitely.
And there
which
was
are
just
friendly social times, and that is probably a real strong generational divide, I bet.
Yeah. So it just made me think about like I wonder how much more prevalent that is outside of us, like
because we're Gen Xers, I wonder.
You are. I'm not.
Well, you don't fit
I'm
in
an
that?
elder millennial.
It's cusp. It's only 5 years between us,
I know.
But that, I think, because of the generation that our parents came from, that sort of late end of the baby boomer, and we were latchkey kids too, like our parents were working too. So that is a generational thing too, right? And that also I feel like our parents, our generation was really common. Divorce was becoming really, really common.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so family dynamics were starting to be like it was normal to have a broken family, or it was becoming more statistically prevalent. I don't know what the stats were. I'm thinking about like the 80s and 90s, right? And how like in the 60s and 70s, there was still a lot of stay-at-home moms. Like women were working in the workforce a lot more ever since World War II and all of that. But it was still really different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have anything interesting to really add to the conversation. I just thought that it was kind of remarkable that all of that happened without any intention.
Yeah.
And I was just curious to know the extent of it. Like
we should ask
how
Mom
prevalent
about this.
is that, and what's her impression of all of that, because it's not necessarily good or bad, it just is. And I think that there's benefits to all things, right? There's benefits to seeing your parents as parents, right? They're always going to be these figures in your life that you look up to, that you think about in that kind of way. There's a reverence there, or
for sure,
if that's the word for it.
It's a good word for it.
And sometimes when you see people like that in different lights and you learn more about them, it's almost disappointing to see them become more human.
Indeed.
And it's not because they're bad people, but it's just like,
they are vulnerable, or they do make mistakes, or they're not this separated thing that's high up and ethereal. And yeah. I'd be interested to hear mom's take on this too, and even Norm too. Be interested to hear about that, because they both have complicated relationships with their parents too.
Right.
Yeah.
Was the grandparents, was that what they call the greatest generation? Was that I
don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe, right? Yeah, the ones before the baby boomers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm way too self-centered to know what the ones were before me.
I just don't remember all the different generational things that I've
I
learned.
can't be bothered to hold that
Yeah.
information in my
I
brain.
can't be bothered.
Well, I would ask Gemini to look it up, but my phone's on airplane mode because it's recording right now.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it would have already.
I know. I
just
kind
now.
of promised that I would do some research, but I was reading late into the night, so I did not.
What are you researching? You're supposed to be researching. Who did you promise this to? Yourself?
You. I
Oh,
said
that
I'll
research.
I'll check this out and do a little research. That's what I said.
Poof.
You, us.
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
What else did you want to talk about? You had a few things. Holiday movies.
I don't know.
Push people.
I mean, I always have this stuff running in my head about leadership development and all of that stuff. But I can talk a little bit about like the events that I have coming up in the next like 6 and 8 months. I have I'm doing a leadership training next week. I have that booked up, and I think that's it for Elemental through the end of the year. And then on January 1st, I have a mini retreat at Mom's house that's invite only. And that is, I'm bringing together a group back together to reconnect. And then in February, I'm doing a 3-part series called Day Camp for Weirdos. I told you about that a little bit, I think.
Yep.
3 Saturdays in February, and I still have a few spots and that is free to participate, except for the requirement to attend is that you participate in the service project, which will be related to the animal shelter, and arts and crafts and good food and a very little bit of just gentle exercise, nothing serious. Weather dependent, you know what I mean? And that we're going to use my friend's pad down at 99 Franklin Street.
Nice.
And that is a really fun location to be at. And then in May, we're back in Eastport for the Ignite, Grow, and Glow retreat. And that one is going to be focused on growth mindset. All the education is really focused on growth mindset. And I have Barb Cookson and Ann Covey are coming back again to help with the education and stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And then I'm brewing a few things for the fall. I'm hoping to take a vacation in August with some friends. We're going to go to Conway, North Conway,
fun.
and maybe do the COG, but maybe not. I found an Airbnb right on the Saco River. And like it's part of the Airbnb that you can access the river and stuff. So we might just like stay right there.
Cool.
And then in October, the beginning of October is Ignite, Glow, and Grow in the fall. So that's a twice-a-year retreat. And that one is, it's more meditation and inward reflection, that kind of stuff, yoga, that sort of thing. So that group is more in that zone. And then Halloween weekend, my friend Therese Albin's coming up from Miami, and we are putting on a retreat at a mansion that we reserved in Ellsworth over Halloween weekend, and it's called Shadows and Spice and Everything Nice. And I'm so excited about this.
Nice.
That is going to be really fun. We're going to be digging into, barriers to self-acceptance, really. The reasons why we have a hard time just being peaceful with ourselves. But it's going to be a lot more fun. That sounds really boring. We're going to develop our vocabulary around difficult discussions, whether they happen in the kitchen or the bedroom. And we're going to set up a few different examples and tools to deal with predictable, difficult discussions that you can plan on having. Like, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? Right? Those kinds of predictable discussions and that sort of thing. So that'll be a long weekend. And Kristen McKay, the boudoir photographer, is also coming to that retreat. So there's going to be an opportunity to sit in front of a camera, which is part of that development, you know what I mean, of like getting to a point where you're more comfortable in your own skin. Because when you get in front of her camera, something really magical happens.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. And I have one more that I'm developing, but that plan is still kind of up in the air. But that will be with a personal trainer. That retreat is hopefully going to be at the desert of Maine. I'm going to be renting several campsites down there, and that is glamping. And they have gorgeous cabins, and they have domes that with stargazer windows and really cool. So I'm hoping to bring a personal trainer there who I've been talking to the campsite about how to move forward with that. So that will probably also be in late September or October, kind of all smashed into the fall.
So it sounds like, I don't know, several weeks ago you were saying that you felt like you needed to get your goals established for the new year, but it sounds like you've got a lot of them.
I do. Yes. What I have not mapped out yet is some really clear numbers. Like I would like to earn this dollar
Yeah.
amount in this amount of time with this amount of labor, or like I would like to be able to afford to have these types of time off. Right? That's another way that I can like monetize what I want. And I've been a little bit scared to start a new business plan, and I need to write a new business plan. So
What do you find scary about it?
I just usually feel inadequate, like imposter syndrome kind of stuff.
About which aspect? There's quite a few pieces to it.
I sitting down and starting, is
Yeah.
it like usually just like um one of those, it's just something that I put off and put off and put off, and
Yeah.
the story in my head is uh it's a humming thing in the background that's like, you jackass, you really think you can do that? You know what I mean? It's that
Mm-hmm.
kind of a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm just like, no, you're right, I probably can't. Or I just ignore it, I just avoid it, and that's like a PTSD garbage symptom, you know what I mean? Like that, just
Mm.
avoiding taking responsibility for things that you know will help your life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a self-sabotagey kind of thing.
Hmm.
So that is a ongoing just part of my life, my personality, that I become aware of through these kinds of discussions, right? Because I told you a while back that I wanted to develop those goals. It was on your mind. You brought it up. It came out.
Yeah.
So I that's why I share things with people, and I say I'm dependent on my community to help me like understand myself. If we hadn't have had this discussion, I might not have had that come to surface as quickly. And now I'm home all day tomorrow. And I told you I named off a bunch of things I have to do. I feel like this is a more priority.
Mm. Yeah.
So why not? And then maybe I can like set a goal right now that by the end of December, I'll have that business plan ready to show someone else.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like good stuff.
Sounds
I mean,
reasonable, right?
I don't know
Well, I'm
if
glad
it's
you
reasonable.
asked. It doesn't really, I mean, we can decide if it's reasonable for ourselves, right? Like
Right.
we can be the measure of that. But I don't know if I probably wouldn't have come to that on my own for how 2, 3, 4, 5 more weeks. Would I waited until after January 1st and gone like, you stupid jerk, I can't believe you didn't do that, right? Use
Mm.
it as a thing to be
Yeah.
mad at myself about. So I'm glad that you asked.
Yeah.
That brought it to the front of my mind.
Well, I think if you find yourself having trouble starting, just start with the stuff that you like first. So start with the list of all the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably feel a little more like you can
I think you're
approach the
right.
next step.
And I think I'm just scared of pushing this part of it into a bigger thing because it's just scary and sort of unknown. And 12 months ago, the goals for my business was a little more narrow.
Mm-hmm.
In that I didn't see having a as broad of a reach with these retreat opportunities that are going so well, and I seem to have a niche for.
Mm.
I just seem to be good at this sort of thing. So I'm so excited about that because I'm happiest when I'm in that state.
Yeah.
Right, of hosting and providing education. Like there's something about that whole zone that is just really a good lane for me. So if I'm finding that I'm also offering benefit to the community through service projects and building connections with people, and I'm able to earn an income from it and stimulate my own thinking and develop as a person. We wouldn't probably be doing this on this schedule if I wasn't pursuing those things. So I get excited just that I'm surprised myself with having ideas and being willing to I don't know, try to stretch my thinking out. I don't know, like be brave to think of new things.
I was just thinking brave right before you said that.
Sometimes that's a hard thing to claim. Like I feel like I'm being brave. Like I said to somebody recently that I felt powerful.
Nice.
And that feels like you should almost not say that.
Really?
Yeah, like, or that I should like apologize for it, or like,
because it's not humble.
Well, maybe, that it's not humble, but
No.
also like, well, what if you disagree? What if I'm wrong? But that's not relevant, right?
Yeah,
That
right?
thinking's
Like
not relevant. It's right.
how could I over here,
How is that
like
even?
on this side, decide
But I think
that you're
I
not
think the
powerful?
story in here is something like that. Like if I
Hmm.
say I'm attractive,
Hmm.
like that's not a thing that you like say.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? In like polite, civilized,
Yeah.
just sit down. You're like, how are you doing today? Good. You know what? I feel good because I look fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we just don't really, I mean, I do talk like that. You know that.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching this probably knows that. Hi, Mom. Uh, so I try to I try to look for opportunities to use language and connect with people in different ways. But I am trying to be more willing to say and think and believe things like that. Like I am attractive and I am powerful. I am having fun. The negative things are true too, but I'm much more willing and quicker to claim those as true.
Yep. That's great.
Yeah. So what about you? End of the year goals and things like that. What are you thinking about?
Nothing really.
School's almost done.
School's almost done. 4 classes left. So just getting through them.
Give me an idea what the timeline is for 4 classes left.
I have until the end of March to finish them.
Oh yeah, but you're gonna finish early.
I can finish faster, but I have until that period of time to finish them, and I can also get an extension if I.
Oh yeah, good.
If I
So
need
it's
to.
not,
So
it's not this pressure that you're just gonna like lose out on money or something if you don't get it done by March or whatever.
yeah, no, and it's super reasonable. I mean, I've been doing the classes in 2 weeks, 3 weeks
This
or
is
less.
WGU. Is
Mhm.
that who it is? Yeah. Does
Yeah.
that stand for Western Governors
It
University? Is that
does.
what that is?
Yeah.
I just, shout out to WGU.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
it does look like a really versatile program. I've looked into it a couple of
is.
times.
Yeah.
I just haven't been ready to pull the trigger
Yeah.
on taking
I
a
mean,
traditional class.
I'm glad I did because I felt like getting my undergraduate degree was like I still feel like is the thing
Oh, such a door
that
opener
I
for you.
feel is well, not even just holding me back because I've done okay without it, but I feel like it's the thing that makes me feel like I haven't reached my potential or I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
done, whatever. It's the thing that if I'm in a group of people that I don't know and I'm talking about myself, it's the thing that's in the back of my mind.
Yep.
You're not like these people
Yep.
because of blah blah
I
blah
told
blah
you.
blah.
Why'd you even try?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that. So it's
Yep.
like my algebra voice, right? I knew you
It's that
couldn't do it.
imposter voice.
Yeah.
You don't belong here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody knows.
Right. So yeah, so I'm feeling good about it in terms of as far as that's concerned. And I have picked up some things. It's kind of funny though at this point in your life, if you've had, I think, enough life experience, raising kids and having different jobs of,
Yeah.
different degrees of responsibility and all that, then I think that you pick up a lot of it, So when you go to do it in an academic way, it's nicer to do it in the competency based way because like you already know so much of it.
Yeah.
That you don't have to spend hours and hours with the same like drilled memorization.
And it just feels like such a waste when you're learning that way. Or it does to me. Like I always feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I'm not going to need this. I'm just going to need to know how to do my resources.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's still that, because you do have to do the core classes. It's an accredited program, so you do have to do all the classes and stuff like that. So you still are going to have to do things that won't be as relevant to what you do now. But I've been looking at them differently.
Yeah.
In terms of stretching my thinking.
Yeah.
They are still helping me with the capacity to learn.
Right.
I did make it through my math courses, right?
Yes, and that was
I made
a big
it.
dread. Yeah.
And they were hard to get through, but I did them, and I
Yeah.
did learn.
Yeah, of course.
And the rest of it, I don't know. Like, there's just so much of it. Probably like 60% of the content is things that I felt like I already knew pretty well, and then I needed to learn them a little more deeply in order to prove that I was competent in those areas. But yeah.
Well, and you're motivated to your education, like you're motivated to do well, you're motivated to that's a weird buzz.
just
You're
started.
you're really motivated to do well in a way that it feels like is different to me. Like when we're in our 20s and we go to school, we're thinking a lot about vanity and romance and distracted by a lot of things, and you're really focused on your career development and
Yeah.
opportunities and stuff like that. So I think that is remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be, maybe someday, I go back and forth on this. I want to be a person who knows things, right? I want to
Yes,
be a
yeah,
person who can say, I know this. Like, I could even share this knowledge with you
right,
because I know it,
yeah, I love that.
Like, I want to be that kind of person. And I'm not, I'm not there
Well,
right now. I know a lot of little things, but I couldn't necessarily be
you
like,
know
I'm
so
the
many
authority on
things.
this,
You know
you
so
know.
many things, and you really have the capacity and the eligibility, I think, to be an expert on so many things. But I hear you, totally hear what you're saying. But I just want you to know you're already a lot of that person that you want, that you like are striving to fill your potential. You're already a lot of that, and I see it a lot. I
Well,
just want you
thank
to know
you.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about all of that lately, and the closer I get to the end of it, the better I feel about the whole process and spending the time and spending the money, and it's been it's been a lot to
Yeah.
invest in, and I'm actually graduating with more credits than a typical undergraduate degree because I changed majors twice.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so I actually spent an
Wow.
entire semester on a different major, and those did not apply to this path. So
So you've broadened your capacity even in those terms too, and that's
yes,
invaluable. It doesn't
yeah.
feel like you wasted that time at all.
No, and
Yeah.
that was communications, which was largely the basics, so the strategic
Hmm.
communications and things like that I
Huge
learned. So
deal.
yeah,
It's a huge deal. Yeah, and all those core classes all come into play. You know, they really do. When I made it through the science and math, the basic stuff, and I started to get into the bigger conceptual stuff, it helped me understand the world better.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I want. And what it's setting me up for is, what do I want to do next? And I do want to learn more. I know that. When? I don't know.
Mm.
I keep going back and forth on that. Do I want to jump right in to a master's program? Do I not? I don't know.
Yeah, you have been talking about that.
The advantages of doing it through WGU are that I could continue to, smash out these
Yeah,
classes,
on an
which
accelerated
means that
track.
I could get that in as little as 6 months for like $4,000. That's a
That's
super
a great,
affordable,
yes. But
30
do you
credits.
have a timeline that you have to like stay eligible for that pricing or anything, or is that's great?
Nope, that's just the pricing
So you just have to decide if you want to
for
take
the
a break or
program.
keep going.
Right. Well, and I also have to decide though, like when you get into the graduate level courses, it's what do you want to spend your time studying?
Mm,
So that's the difficult part for
yeah.
me, is trying to make that
Gosh,
decision.
yeah.
What do I want to spend my time studying? And really, if I had my heart of hearts and I said, I'm just going to go for it,
Mm,
and money wasn't a thing,
yep.
I would study law,
Interesting. To what end? Why?
employment law.
For what goal? What's your passion? What's the drive there? Like
Because
this is your heart of hearts. Tell me.
yeah, to be the resource for people, to be able to help them and small businesses and nonprofits to be in compliance and to
Yeah.
do the things that they need to do, and
Be successful.
and to provide a good experience for their staff,
Yeah.
because when you have someone who's doing 17 different things as well as human resources, they're just not getting the full benefit of
They're
that.
just not.
And
Yeah.
things like that. But there's also other other things
She's done with
that
this.
I think about, that I would like to learn too, and like training and development.
Yeah.
The science behind adult learning theory, and
Yes.
organizational development. I've always been interested in that, in terms of what makes a team thrive,
Yeah.
and how does that work well. What can I lend my talents to
Mm.
as far as that field is concerned? So I have trouble like picking.
Mm.
And I mean, money's going to have to be a factor,
Of
money and
course.
time,
Yeah.
because as much as I say I want to be an expert, I really don't want to go through a grueling
Yeah.
program
I used
while
to
I'm
think I
working.
wanted to be a student forever, but I don't
Yeah.
at all. I do enjoy learning and I
Yep.
enjoy the educational environment, not the traditional
Yeah.
educational environment at all. But yeah, I do love to learn, and it's appealing to think of like
Mhm.
even working at a university and just having the access to be continually learning and
Yeah.
researching and stuff like that is like it's enticing,
Yeah.
but that's not the world I want to live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like how do you want to spend your time,
Yeah.
right? So that's really
Yeah.
that's the equation that you work
What
on
do you want
now
to
is
be when
how
you
do you
grow up,
want to
dude?
spend your
What do you want to
time?
be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I'm realizing that I'm happiest when I'm functioning in this capacity for
Mhm.
working and living. So how can I move all of my
Everything
energies
in
in
that
that
direction.
direction now?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's exciting.
You know, one of the things that I didn't recognize in myself until I went through all of this as an adult, um, and after, the kids are on their own and they're whatever,
Mhm.
and I have the capacity to focus on myself, I did not recognize that the traditional school wasn't the best for me. I didn't actually realize that because I did well in traditional school. I
Yeah, I did
wasn't
too.
the happiest in
Yeah.
traditional school, but I did fine. But being able to work at my own pace is a huge door opener for me. I'm
Yes.
so much more engaged in the content when I don't have to listen to the same idea that I already got.
Yes, just let me
I
go. Like
understood
I got it.
that concept
Let me
like
go.
3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
like let me keep going. I think that has been really eye opening. So
That's cool.
yeah, so I
Montessori is
didn't know
kind
that
of
about
based on
myself.
that premise, like Montessori school, where I got a call one day. I don't know if I told you about this, but my kid had done the hundreds board. I get a phone call at work and I answer the phone. They're like, everything is totally fine. We just want to celebrate with you. Your kid has just finished the hundreds board.
And what's
So
that?
it's this great board with 100 tiles, 101 from 0 to
Yeah.
100. And they were a mess. And my kid was 4 at the
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
and finished the hundreds board in one sitting.
Oh yeah.
And
That
like
doesn't
so,
surprise me.
right? But so Montessori
Yeah.
would allow that even if it
Yeah.
was time to change,
Yeah.
activities because we're having the success, we're learning, we're developing. And that is that theory is really,
Yeah.
as you're experiencing, really
Yeah.
useful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been very happy with the school that I picked. I did have some issues with, so they set you up with um what they call a mentor, which is kind of like in the traditional setting a
Advisor.
advisor,
Yeah.
kind of like that, except that they have more contact with
Mm.
you, more communication with you. They also will share things like, for example, the person I'm working with now, I'll say, okay, I need to build a strategy. I've got, what was it? I had 10 classes to finish in the next 6 months or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
So we need to work this out, meaning we have to strategize the order of which to set these up in and how to pace them out and all of that.
I
And
love
it's
that.
different for every class that you go into
That's great.
because you don't know how well you're going to take to the content
Yep.
until you start it. But what they have for access is access to historical information. So
Right.
they can look at it and say, well, it looks like about 80% of students who go into this class finish in 2 days or finish in,
Right.
10 weeks or, all
And
of
it
that.
gives you a nice benchmark
Right.
to help you adjust your thinking about
Right.
what's an appropriate timeline for that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely. So
What
I
a
think that
great thing to
that's a
have that.
huge,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a
that's
huge
coaching,
benefit.
right? Like that's great.
Yeah.
I've never had advisors that were that useful in school.
Yeah, and they celebrate with you and all of
That's
that. And
wonderful.
it's you really don't do the traditional like register for your courses. There's
Mm.
no it's not like you need this course and it's not offered this semester. That
Right.
doesn't exist.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Everything is out there for you
So
to do.
accessible. And that
It's
is the
very
thing.
accessible.
That's the thing that we need more of, right? Like it's so that's incredibly accessible.
Yeah, and I think that there are some people, I've heard others who I've shared this like method with and they said that they, would not work for me. Like, nope, I would need someone to
Right.
hold me accountable every
Right.
single time. I
Yeah.
would need this, I would need that. So I know that for some people it wouldn't
For sure.
necessarily work, but it's been wonderful for me.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time that I've gone back to college. Like
Right.
I've been to other schools and was intensely frustrated with
Yeah.
them.
And
So
yeah, really. And like stopped because like this is just feels like a waste or it's too inflexible,
Well,
right?
and the reason that I stopped the last time when I was studying public administration was because I was frustrated with the lack of availability of
Mm.
courses that they were mandating
Yeah,
you
right.
to
Yes.
take,
You
right?
have to take
You
this, but it's
have
not
to take
available
this,
till next
but
spring.
you can't have it.
Yep. So you're just going to have to take filler courses so that you don't unenroll.
Yes, just silly to me anyway.
It
That's how
is,
it
yeah.
felt. But then I had like the massive life change right in the middle of it. And what it was that I wasn't going to be able to put my capacity into that because I had to rearrange the way that I think
Yeah.
to even allow it to happen. So to even be able to show up in that accounting class and, present my
Seriously.
best
Yeah.
self
Yeah.
and do what I needed to do
It's
and
great
be
insight.
engaging,
Yeah.
so that's really why I walked away from that. I could have probably been okay,
Well, of
but
course.
it also would have
Yeah.
taken me
Well, and what cost,
so
Yeah.
long
And
to
the
get through it.
value of it, the integrity of the education might have been different, because of the stress and all those external things. Yeah. I think you have great insight for those things for yourself.
Yeah.
I rely on other people to help me develop those insights. I always marvel at you being able to like reflect on your own, like what you do well and what you struggle at, or like being able to navigate that thinking and like being able to say to yourself, I just can't give it my all, and so I should consider these things. I often will be like, in the space where I'm about to start doing it all, I'm stressed to the max. And then someone will say to me, you don't seem like yourself. What's going on with you? And then I get closer to like getting to that insight. So I always find that remarkable whenever I see an example of somebody doing that. And I think you have really good insight with that. And that's probably one of the reasons why your kids are so well adjusted. Like, they're adaptable.
I don't know. I mean, they do so much for themselves,
That's what I mean. But that comes from like growing up in an environment, I think, where you're well loved and you feel safe.
I hope so. I hope that that's how they
Yeah,
would reflect
I
on
think
that
so. I think
experience.
so.
But yeah. I was actually telling someone just today, just kind of thinking back to when they were little, and I was, how there's that concept of like, are you a living room family or a bedroom family,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And I said, we were a living room family, but we were all pretty independent
Yep.
too. We all enjoyed our own space as well, and we
Definitely.
all, did all of that. And so I just wonder if that played any part in them being able to excel so well on their own.
I wonder. Yeah, that resilience. That's
Yeah.
cool. If I hadn't traveled a little bit in my teenager years,
Yeah.
I think I would be a really different person.
Yeah.
That really helped me build a lot of self-confidence and resilience, and it like I can do hard things, kind of thing. Yeah. Her tongue is stuck out.
I know. I love it when it's stuck out. Remember how scared I was when she lost her teeth and her tongue was sticking out? And I was like, is she having a stroke?
It's okay.
I forgot that she just had some teeth pulled.
Yeah. It's okay. Just a baby. Well, what are we doing for Christmas? Are you guys traveling?
I don't know.
I feel like we talked to Mom about it, but I don't remember.
We're gonna go to Mass, for sure.
Massachusetts, not Mass. Massachusetts.
Right, to see John's family. And I have to check in with my boss and see if I can get the next day off, I think. The only other
is the middle of the week this year?
Well, it's on a Thursday.
Okay.
So the only other thing though is that we wanted to do New Year's Eve in Boston. And so that same deal, it's on like a Thursday.
So if you work the Christmas week, then you have a more likely of getting the other week off, right?
I mean, we could probably just swing it.
Samesies.
Like it'll probably be okay. But I also need to have time off for a trip in February. So I have to be thinking about how I use my time and all of that. So I haven't figured it all out is the answer. I don't know yet. We might just do the one thing for Christmas instead of trying to make sure to see everybody else and then just getting together on the weekend or something.
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan. I like when we do like every other year or so. It seems like we get together and have just like food and movies.
Yeah.
Just us, like no parents.
It is fun.
It
to
is
be
fun.
able to hang out and do our own thing. Yeah.
And just sort of non-traditional, but traditional for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Watching White Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sisters. I did turn that on the other day.
Did you?
Yes, I did. While I was busy working around the house.
Did you see the pajamas on TikTok?
No.
The
What
white Christmas pajamas?
No.
They have satin white Christmas pajamas.
Stop it.
Yeah. And it's just like the Gilmore Girls ones that I got from you and Jolie. It's got just a bunch of different things from the movie all over them.
Cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I need to think of gifts to send to Ethan.
Oh.
Quickly.
Oh.
Because I want to get them out the door. Because it took forever for the stuff to arrive last year. So be thinking of that.
Stuff like from here that he can't get because he's over there?
Not necessarily, but whatever we can think of. So I'm trying to think of some things that he wouldn't normally think of.
Right.
So I like to do like a mix, like something that would be kind of fun and silly, something that might be kind of cool, something that, you know, he might use. And nothing that's too difficult for him to be able to pack when he has to go to the next place.
Yep. Little gadgety things. I'll think about it. Yeah, I'm thinking of stores, but like every place I'm thinking of is like in Portland.
Mm-hmm. Well,
since you're going to Portland,
I happen to have a house down there, so
like some cutesy, like there's that, you know, the store that I got that bright blue Maine sweatshirt with fluorescent pink Maine, like the flag. There's a store downtown. I'll have to look it up. They have like 100+ local artists in this store, and they always blast music out in the sidewalk.
I have no idea what place you're talking about.
I've asked AI a bunch of times. Like I'll just say, "What's that place in Portland that has all these local artists?" And it always tells me the store, but I can never think of the name of it.
Oh, that just
and it's in the tag of my sweatshirt too, so I can totally look at it that way.
Tell me about that.
This store, all of their stuff is by local artists, and most of it is Maine themed, and a lot of it is very, very funny. Like a t-shirt with a duck that says "Fight Me," you know what I mean? Like just funny stuff, or like a raccoon that says "Fight Me," you know what I mean? And there's all different like that. Like that sweatshirt is bright blue with fluorescent pink, but it's that new Maine flag design. But it's just different. You know what I mean? So that, you know, pins, stickers, t-shirts, all kinds of different stuff. That might be something to think of. What's he into for like pop culture stuff? Anything? Does he have a favorite cartoon or something?
I don't know. I don't know that part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually just pick the things that I think remind me of him, and then I send them over to him. And I usually send him like something sarcastic. Like last year, I sent him a pair of socks with my face all over them.
It's hysterical. That's hysterical.
I sent him
it's too late in the season for
Viking horn mug.
That's so funny, dude.
And I think something else. I'm not sure.
You're a really good gift giver. We should talk about this the next time we sit down.
Really?
Yes. The next time we sit down, let's try to remember that. We'll talk about gifts.
Okay.
Because I think it's a special talent. Like I have that magnet that you picked out for me from that weird craft fair or whatever on my fridge. Like that's such a perfect gift for me. So perfect. And it's bizarre. No one else on earth probably would have looked at that magnet. Well, maybe my kid might have, or Jared.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just ordered you another something. It's just a little something.
The buzz just went away.
It did.
It must have been an appliance or something. Interesting.
Yeah, so you have another little something coming, and you're going to be like, that is exactly like me.
Same kind of thing. I love that. I think you're really good at that. And I used to think in my early 20s that I wanted a business of being like a gift giver, like you need to buy a gift for someone that's hard to shop for. I can probably do it.
I don't know if I could do that. I mean, it really isn't something intentional. It's just that I know you so well that I look at something and I go, she'll enjoy that. I'm going to get that.
I've seen you do
like,
it for other people
Ethan
too.
will like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever. So like,
you might have a special.
I couldn't do it for a stranger. I couldn't do it for someone that I don't know.
Have you tried? You might be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're clever.
Clever girl.
Look at Daisy. Daisy the doodle.
Well, I'm tired. Let's wrap.
Feels like time.
Yep.
Good. I think we can actually play this one.
Play this one?
Yeah, the last time we sat down and recorded together, we ganked it off the air.
No, let's archive it.
Yeah, it is. It's archived. Yep. If you're watching this and you made it,
let's put it behind a paywall.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you really want to watch that other video, you can apply. You can apply for an invitation.
I don't know about that.
Oh, it'll have to go through the committee. Right, but you can apply for eligibility.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to allow.
I mean, it's not like it was terrible, but you know,
It was just a little. Just a little.
Yeah.
Sister, I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Let's do this again soon.
Okay, bye.